Ugh. Astonishing 52 degrees Fahrenheit out here in the parking lot this morning. A little bit nippy, but not too bad. How's everybody doing today? How was your weekend? Sorry, I'm still a bit tired this morning. I did sleep pretty well, which is weird, but well. Um, According to the latest, it seems there's been a unit setting up at Leigh Court in Bristol for Doctor Who filming. So, anyway, apparently they said the location is, from what I read earlier, I don't think it's accessible by automobile. But for you folks who are feeling adventurous, there you go. It's funny though how weirdness works out in this world, because everybody was all over set reporters and all that, and it seems to have eased back again. I had to once again block an account typing, and I think it was Arabic, the script, because they're using DWSR in their address for some reason, and I don't know why. I do not live in those countries. I can't read Arabic, so I don't know. I don't know what they're going on about. Um, but I know it ain't Doctor Who filming. Is it a unit setup? Okay, like I said, all I know is I got a location. Though it's a filming unit setup. I say it ain't unit setup. Now, yeah, they've got to be filming on the spinoff sooner or later, especially if they're going to try to run one out in the near future. Some folks seem to think that the one set that got redacted out of the teaser trailer, or whatever you want to call it, because there's part of that in there if you got to really look, I guess, and they think that might be the new headquarters setup. And the thing is, I hope they don't turn Unit into another G.I. Joe. Oh, God. The Baroness is Cobra Commander's sister. Oh. And you have to love how much the TV series, when you go back and watch it now, the only time the guys could hit the targets was when the battle android troopers came into existence, because since they're not living, we can blow up them, as many of them as we want. But a living target can't hit them for crap. That's the one thing that always amazed me. This is the elite fighting unit, and everybody's shooting these guns at each other, and not one person scoring a hit, including the snipers. But then the battle android trooper gets put out there, and oh look, we can blast these all day. And it's kind of scary too, because from some of the things I'm seeing, we may not be that far from robo soldiers. I'm not kidding. It's just, as long as they don't turn out like the Ed 209. Okay, won't filming till August. Yeah, because Unit now versus Unit then, and like I said, that's back when they were allowed to be the United Nations Intelligence Task Force. I still can't get over the UN throwing a tizzy over a fictional paramilitary outfit in a science fiction show. That, especially when Unit had been in existence since the 70s in that said show. And now they wait till about 2005, 2006 and throw a fit about it. We don't want to be associated with any paramilitary organization. Ugh. No, they're just mad because they wouldn't, put Brigadier and them in white helmets and. Oh yeah, the whole Cobra Law nonsense was garbage. I'm like, really? But then again, I could never figure out how Cobra Commander got in charge of a terrorist organization. Oh. I know everybody's been going on about that, about AI writers, AI. I've been seeing AI made videos all over the place now. And it's obvious they are. I'm like, and yet these videos get how many dozens of hits or thousands of hits? I'm like, you do realize a human didn't edit that video, right? It's like, ugh. But like I said, everything amazes me out there now what you can get away with if you've got so many thousands of subscribers on YouTube. It's sorry, I was just getting caught up a little bit on. Ugh. It's just AI writers. It kind of, okay. The reason why I don't like AI writers because someone just asked a question, why not? And I'm like, because there's no soul in it. It's just there's no passion. It's just feed it in. But the problem is, it depends on who's feeding it in. It's the old saying, garbage in, garbage out, and do we ever talk about any viewers? I am not at liberty to discuss that. Besides, it's a quick conversation, all 5 or 10 of you. It's hard to believe I've been doing this since, like, I think 2011. It's like, then I finally get into the upper, towards the middle 5,000 subscribers. And then you always plateau. That's the problem. It seems to me like, unless you pay YouTube or somebody money, for ad promotion, you just hit a wall sooner or later. Like for a while, I was somewhere over 5,300 subscribers. Now I'm down to less than 5,100. And a lot of people, well, that's disheartening. And it's like, no, you can't take it personally because what YouTube does is every so often they send these little bots through. And there's people who probably subscribed to you years ago, but they're no longer on YouTube. And they pull all those accounts. And when they pull all those accounts, and that takes off your subscriber count, takes off your viewer count, and it makes it difficult. It really does. But you can't take it to heart. You just got to keep going. How long have I been watching Doctor Who? About 1983. My first episode was the Sontaran experiment. And I've told everybody that story, but like I said, just to briefly tell you, I started out with like Star Trek, Space 1999, things like that, and What happened is one night there was the Star Trek and all that had been preempted for a doubleheader for the Cleveland Indians. Oh, I said that evil name because they had to change their name because of politically correctness to the Guardians. And so I'm sitting there running through the TV guide that came with the newspaper at the time, and it was only, believe it or not, it was only that thick, and it was basically a pamphlet back then, and there it was, boom, Doctor Who, science fiction, fantasy, the Sontaran experiment. So I flipped it on WVIZ TV 25 in Cleveland, and that's how I got started. I believe it was either 82 or 83, I want to say. So I've been watching this show for a better part of 40 years, come to think of it. Which is why I die laughing. Well, you can't do that on Doctor Who. And I'm like, or why really crack up laughing, white men are being shown to be tyrannical villains. I'm like, they've been doing that since almost the beginning. Corporations are evil and that's all they talk about. They've been doing that since the beginning too. It's like, female doctor, talked about that back in 86. But let's see, Sidney Newman had his way, you'd have had a female doctor replacing Colin Baker. So it's not like it was new. The old Doctor Who, it's like the old saying, there's nothing new under the sun. They retconned an entire thing. And it's like, yeah, let's talk about Rassilon, Omega, 12 regenerations, and it's like, you name it, I can name it. They've already done it. Oh yeah, they can't let it go. They can't accept the fact that, the Chibnall Whittaker won, they lost. The show was not canceled, the show was not destroyed. And they can't explain the fact that if it was so horrible, why did they commission Chibnall to write a centenary special? His contract was due to be up, so was Whittaker's. They didn't have to do it. They could have just walked off, said, have a good day. But Rotten Tomatoes says this or whatever. And I'm like, people always throw that site up like it's the it's the dog's bollocks. It's the ultimate definition of what you should be watching. It's a boycott. It's a sham. I guarantee you, whoever's feeding that site the most money gets the best recommendations. As I said, garbage in, garbage out. It's come on, a site that had to shut down certain sections of their thing because they were being botted. That kind of shows me how reliable it is. Or IMDb, and I'm like, I love how people are holding IMDb up now also. IMDb is a shit show. I'm like, IMDb, you can write anything you want on IMDb. You can bot the hell out of IMDb. IMDb was a laughing stock and still is. Yet people are holding its ratings up as sacred. Ugh. Well, folks, I got to run inside. Don't forget, let's see, today's keywords. Woke, trans, Biden, Trump, blah, blah, blah. I have to throw some stuff in for the algorithm. So, take care, everybody. Yep, Chibnall whizzed on Hartnell's grave. Take care, everyone. I got to run. Goodbye. Be kind, be calm, be safe. We'll catch y'all later. See y'all hopefully in the future. I have got to get inside and go to work.